Crystal Palace up next for Manchester United at Old Trafford. This is going to be your preview ahead of the game. We'll be talking predicted team tactics, what to expect from Manchester United, and more. So don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And listen, Manchester United are in a great bit of form. We're unbeaten in six under Michael Carrick, have a very good home record, and again we've been on a great bit of form. We've had a very good game against um, Everton during the week, and this is going to be your preview for the game. Now, if we look at kind of team news. Again, I don't think there's going to be any injuries. I think Delete and Mount are still going to be out from the game. But everyone else should be back and available to go. So I think that's a positive in that. Listen, I think Palace is going to be a difficult game. They're a team that don't dominate possession too much. Their top scorer being Mateta, but he's not playing at the moment. They're a team that's not on a great bit of form. Again, they picked up a lot of their points away from home. But again, still don't have a great record away from home. They've lost 5, I believe, away from home. So not a great record, but they are a team nonetheless who still puts in very good performances and still, despite this sort of disruption that they're having with the manager and they've lost Guehi and Mateta and all these sort of stuff, they have struggled. But I think they're a team that can still cause United problems. And let's look at the Manchester United team. This is a team that I'm going to go for. I think one thing that has to start or one player, sorry, who has to start is Benjamin SESKO. You look at a vocal point of presence against a back three, his goal against Everton, which was a world-class finish, a great run. He has to start this game. In terms of everyone else, I keep everyone where they are. I think Yoro had a very good game. Obviously, Lamont's in net. He's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United, and he will get a lot of shots from Palace. Back four, Dallo, Yoro, Maguire and Shaw. I can't complain about that. I think we did miss Martinez, and apparently he could potentially be available for this game. But at the time of recording, he's not. And I think Maguire did a good job. He was physical. He was that more of a commanding leader, defender, in my opinion. I thought Yoro had a good game. Struggled to get into it, but still made a lot of last-ditch blocks and has looked very, very good. Sure, we know what we're getting with him. I think he had a decent game against Ndai, more defensive shift. And he looked alright against him. Into midfield, Mainu and Casemiro, they've been the two that's been starting. Obviously, there's no reason to drop them. I think they've been very, very good in that midfield in terms of going forward. You know, the threat that Mainu and Casemiro have individually. And again, that midfield battle is going to be key. There's a lot of quality in that midfield, and I'm excited to see how Wharton plays. Fernandes, obviously, in the 10, we know the quality that Fernandes has. He had a difficult game against Everton. He was kind of crowded out. It was too kind of compactful, and we struggled to get him into the game. And listen, as you can see there, and Mbeumo's in, Ahmad's not in the team. This is not a reflection of sort of Ahmad's performance per se. I would say the fact that we need Mbeumo in this team, and I think off the right, that's where we got the assist from. I think he looks better on that side, and we need to get him into that position. And I think that's where you see the best out of Mbeumo, in my opinion. Personally, I think you get the best quality and goals from him on that side and the best threat. And listen, I mean, it's not a bad sub really to bring on Ahmad off the bench. So yeah, that's what I would go for. Cunha on the left, I think someone who I'd obviously have in the team as well. And then Benjamin Sesko through the middle. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on that Manchester United team. That's the team that I would go for. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, that's the strongest team. Now, if you look at sort of that Palace team, this will be the Palace team. I'm assuming it was their team in the last game. You play obviously a 3-4-3, narrow forward, wing backs get on down the sides. They like to put crosses into the box. And as I say, if you look at some of their stats this season, Crystal Palace. So, goals per 90. They have an XG of 0.56 per 90. And their top scorer, Mateta, is their top goal scorer and has a goal scoring rate of 0.56 per 90. As a team, I think, listen, they're a team that score. They actually have a very good clean sheet record, actually. That's something that we need to talk about. And that's even the fact that they've lost Guehi as well. So that is quite an impressive stat. They're 9 or 10 clean sheets this season. As I said, they average 1.1 goals per match, which is 15th in the league. And they concede 1.2, which is 6th. So they have a decent defensive record. Again, 10 clean sheets this season. They average around 45% possession, which is quite low in the league for them. United still have the most shots on target per match, per 90, which is impressive. But yeah, Palace, they've missed a lot of big chances. They create a lot of chances, and they're a team who do have a lot of passes per match, and that comes down to the quality of Adam Wharton in midfield. In terms of accurate long balls, they play the 16th most in the Premier League. And yeah, they are a decent team. As I said, in terms of goals conceded per match, It's up there. I think it's 1.1. So yeah, that's Crystal Palace. As I said, it's going to be a tricky game. Manchester United expected to go into game to get the win, especially with the form that they're in, especially being at home as well. I think that is a big advantage for Manchester United, and it does give us that big sort of push to go into the game. As I said, there's no real changes I'll make to the team. I do think it is going to be an interesting game. I think individual battles across the pitch are going to be important. I expect United to dominate possession, but it's all about what we do against the possession. I don't think what we do with the possession. Sorry, I don't think Palace are going to be a team that are going to sit back and defend. They're going to look to take the game to United, and I think that will open a lot of spaces for the likes of Mbeumo, SESKO, Cunha on the counter attack, and we've seen how clinical they have been in that Everton game. So, yes, I think it's going to be a very different game to what we saw against Everton. I think it's going to be a much more open game. I can see there being a lot of goals in there, a lot of chances created, a lot of shots on target. But I'm excited for the game. United need to keep up that winning record. We know Villa, they play Wolves. So depending on that, how that game goes, United could potentially be into that third place spot if they get the win. Now I'm not saying it's an easy game to play at, but we did beat Palace at their place. 2 goals, 1 goal from Xerxes, 1 goal from Mount. So we have beaten them this season. They're not in a great bit of form. They're inconsistent at the moment. There's a lot of sort of tension around it. Is the manager staying or going? Or when's he going to go? So, listen, I think United need to capitalise on that. We know Glasner likes to play a good brand of football, high press, but crosses into the box, physical. But I think, as I said, Palace are going to look to take the game to United, and I think that does leave a lot of open spaces for United to hit them on the transition, which is something that we've seen happen over the years at Manchester United, and that's why Mbeumo, Ahmad, off the bench, Cunha and Mbeumo, these sorts of players can cause problems. And listen, I do think we lose a lot with Ahmad's defensive ability, but I think Mbeumo defends very, very well as well. And I don't think you can take Cunha out of the team for his performance against Everton. And I think SESKO, he's been on a great bit of form. Obviously, the concern would be he's coming off the bench and getting most of these goals. Would he be able to do it in a game? I think he should be able to. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. In terms of predictions, I think there's going to be goals in this. Listen, United conceded a lot of goals. I know we kept a clean sheet in our last game, but we do concede goals. I think Palace are a team definitely going to score. But I'm going to back Manchester United to get the win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Manchester United win. We're at Old Trafford. We've had a decent form there under Michael Carrick. 100% win record at Old Trafford, which is quite good. A clean sheet in there. There's 2 clean sheets in there out of 3. So we're on a good bit of form. And I think the Old Trafford has been a fortress. And we can definitely utilise the players and the quality that we have to get the job done. I think Palace, as I said, they're a team that's struggling at the moment, and the confidence is not there, but they still have good players. As I said, Wharton can make a world-class pass, and the quality that he has. Munoz is a very good right wing back and someone who can score goals. I think he has the most assists for them this season, or like the third most goals. Pino, Sarr, Mateta, if he's fit, Strand Larson they've signed. They've got players who can cause and damage United. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. That has been my team there. Any changes that you'd make, let me know. Would you start Ahmad or Mbeumo? SESKO for me is someone who's guaranteed on the team sheet. And yeah, would you make any changes? Let me know your thoughts.